The industry's changed over the last few years because Europe has insisted on electronic tagging of all sheep, and nobody had got an electronic tagging system. And some of the laws associated with electronic tagging meant they needed very special tags, so we started from scratch, started from a fresh drawing board. I think the success we had with previous systems led me to continue integrating some of the advantages that farmers wanted and had in the last system, but effectively it needed to be something that started from scratch, because we had to include inside the tag a chip, which of course wasn't around in the past, and I think that's the main difference. Electronic components, in particular radio frequency devices, are very sensitive to other materials around them, and although we putting plastic, which is a fairly innocuous material, around the RFID device, it was nevertheless being buried under molten plastic. Although lots of other people have just clicked them into tags and hope they'll stay there, we wanted to bury it and make it tamper-proof effectively, which is what governments want. So the chip had to survive these hot moulding processes. So not only have we had to develop the hot moulding process so it isn't too dangerous for the chip, but we even had to develop special chips that would survive it. Double tagging sounds okay, except you need to deliver one chipped tag and one not chipped tag. They both have the same number printed on them, so if the animal loses one, you still know its name by reading the tag with your eyes, visual tag. When we developed this, the rule was that we had to have two different colours, and one with a chip, one without a chip. So it was quite an engineering challenge, actually. It's not just a design, what does it look like, what does it feel like, how heavy is it comfortable to wear, but how difficult or how easy is it to make? Because in the end, the farmer really is looking for an economic it's not economic, is it? It's a sort of value product. So not only have we got to help him do the job and perhaps gain a little premium for the product, at the same time it can't be out of court in terms of cost. So we kind of knew what the farmer needed. It's a real mechanical engineering challenge to give him that. That's the ability to apply it to the sheep and reducing the stress on him and the animal and so on. But I think my modus operandi is generally that I develop something and put it out to market, probably a little bit before it should go out, believing that it's good enough, and then the feedback pours in and gives me, all the reason to tweak it and improve it and finish the design effectively. I like to think there's a huge difference between Roxan and others in that we do listen to feedback and do something about it. Probably everybody listens to feedback, good or bad. I think unquestionably we're the fastest growing tag maker in the UK. We're not necessarily the biggest yet. Last month, actually June 2013, we were second most popular tag in the UK. This means not necessarily the second largest company, but as a tag, the Tagfaster tag became the second most used tag. First in Scotland, of course, 20% of the market, all that roundabout thereabouts, and we're recovering our sort of top dog position there quickly, only a couple of years after it was launched really in 2010, and we're marching forward. Absolutely straight away it's an automatic tagging gun, so it delivers tags one after another, actually 20 tags. And 20 tags is a very typical pen's worth of sheep when you're sending them off the farm, so it's a good number. So we're the only people that really deliver robust cartridges of 20, that's 10 animals worth of sets of tags, double tags you would call them. So nobody else does that. You have to have animals properly tagged. Now when farmers are taking one tag from one strip and another tag from the other, a matching tag from the other strip of tags, two different one electronic, one non-electronic, they can easily make a mistake. And very often they have somebody helping them. So saving labour, saving mistakes, saving time. We advertise a third of the time to double tag. We'll find out this afternoon if that's the case or not. Hopefully it is, if not less.
What we're going to do is Jason is going to tag 10 lambs with the Tagfaster gun, and then he's going to stop, and then he's going to do 10 tag 10 lambs, if you like, manually, so single applicator, and we're going to try and prove this, that it's basically a third of the time. 3, 2, 1, go! So this, in theory, should be a lot quicker and a lot easier, because obviously you've got the two tags lined up, you've got the yellow one and the orange one, both with the same numbers. He doesn't have to go and look for the numbers. Each pair of tags is just ready to go into the sheep's lugs as it comes. By contrast, when we get on with a single applicator, we'll see that he's got to fumble about looking for the tags, the corresponding numbers, and we'll see how difficult that is. Now he's fairly cracking through them here. I don't know if the rain's maybe helping, but or slowing things down a wee bit rather. But we're getting through them.
There's 10 tags in a strip.
Yeah. As it's just been pointed out, there's 10 tags in a strip. So we do the strip and then we're good to go. Okay, right. What? 1 minute 9 seconds to do 10 sheep. So now, without any, you know, bias, we're going to do it properly, but do it with a single applicator. Takes a wee bit of preparation, this, because we've got to split the tags up.
There's no way that I can cut the lot through that.
No, right. Now that's a very worthwhile point here. What we've got is you've got your pair of tags, your yellow one and your orange one, on the same strip, and even though it takes someone else to rip them up, actually Roxan are still making it quicker, because any other tag manufacturer, you would have 2 strips of tags and you'd have to fumble about looking for the numbers. Yeah, a talking tag. Right, have we got the official stopwatch?
I'm ready.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Right, go. Right, 3, 2, 1 next time. We'll speed things up a wee bit. Right, yeah. Now, as you can see, it becomes very much a 2-man operation, or a 2-person operation, we should say. But there's no way that catching sheep, loading the pliers, and selecting the right tag could all be done with one person, or it really would be a fumble job. The other thing, as you'll see, when Jason's loading the pliers, he's got to be very careful to make sure the tag goes into the pliers of the applicator correctly, so that the pin drives through the ear straight. Whereas the automatic, the Tagfaster gun, it loads itself, the tag's always in the right position, and it always goes through the ear straight, or in theory it does. I think we're on course for a record time even with the single pliers.
It helps them with a fantastic assistant like that.
Yes,
I wouldn't say glamorous, just fantastic.
But even at that, I mean, we're going to be quite quick for this. But I've every confidence that we're. No? Yeah? Clockmaster?
The way you go from then, probably not.
Don't want to put anybody off.
One past, one going back. The lamb's going back.
Aye, right.
Stuff it in the mug. In the mug and clean it off.
The last one. No, hang on.
Are you? 2 minutes 19.
So I think what we were proving there is basically that actually working with the applicator is a lot quicker than doing it with a single applicator and tag at a time. Well done. Guinness Book of Records. Yeah, it was a two-man job.
You couldn't do that yourself.
Well, you couldn't do it yourself. I mean,
You'd have to do it one at a time, pin them up against here, you know, so you could lean across and get the other one.
yeah.
So this is new to me. I work with just individual tags at the present moment, putting individual tags into pliers. It's about time that they come up with an easier way of tagging sheep, to be honest with you. And it makes sense to be able to do it 10 or 20 at a time. It certainly speeds the whole job up.
A lot quicker and handier than just doing a single tag at the time. Just the ease and time of tagging rather than doing a single tag.
It seems to work really well. It does seem to work really well. I mean, there's a lot of lambs going through and it's quick. So, yeah, I mean, as I say, it's impressive.
We showed that just now. It was half the time that sort of
twice
time
the
trial,
men.
but it needed twice the men. So maybe you can almost times it by 4. You know, if you were doing it on your own. I think your slogan about tagging in a third of the time probably stands good.
Yeah. Proved tonight.